The story begins with Arthur, the protagonist, who is a baby in his new world, is seen flipping through a book that describes the various kingdoms and regions of the continent he finds himself in. The book outlines three major kingdoms, Elenoir, Darv, and Sapin each, with unique characteristics and races. The forest kingdom of Elenoir is inhabited by elves, the underground kingdom of Darv is home to dwarves, and the kingdom of Sapin is predominantly populated by humans. The narrative touches on the Beastglades, a mysterious and dangerous area, filled with hostile creatures and hidden treasures. Arthur reads about dungeons and powerful entities within the glades that adventurers seek. The Grand Mountain Range separates the northern and eastern regions from the western and southern areas of the continent. The relationships between the kingdoms are mentioned. Darv and Sapin share a mutually beneficial connection, while the elves of Elenoir remain isolated and aggressive toward others. Arthur's contemplative mood is evident as he closes the book, showing his curiosity about the world he's in, and perhaps a sense of longing or frustration due to his current state as an infant. As the novel progresses, it explains the experiences and thoughts of the protagonist, Arthur Lewin, who has been reincarnated into a new world with magical abilities. He reflects on his past life as a king and his prowess in swordsmanship and key control. He's now a baby named Art and is beginning to explore his new world. So the world he's in has a medieval setting with limited technology and widespread use of weapons. Arthur learns about the existence of mana, a magical energy source, in this world and how it differs from the ki he controlled in his previous life. He contemplates the potential advantages of using mana, such as its abundance in the atmosphere, and how it could enhance his abilities. The story delves into the differences between augmenters, those who enhance their physical abilities, with mana, and conjurers, foes who cast spells using mana, and their respective strengths and weaknesses. Arthur realizes that he may have the potential to excel in both disciplines given his experience with ki control. The protagonist also considers the rarity of individuals who can sense mana and mentions his mother's healing abilities, indicating she might be a healer or emitter. The story further explores the fundamentals of mana manipulation, including gathering mana from the surroundings, storing it in a mana core, and channeling it for spells or augmentation. Arthur is determined to develop his mana control skills despite his young age. The narrative shifts to Arthur's mother, Alice Lewin, who fondly observes her son's growth and interactions with the world. She notices his curiosity and intelligence, which seem unusual for a baby. The father, Reynolds Lewin, couldn't contain his excitement at having a son. He looked forward to the day when he could start training his baby boy in the ways of magic, hoping that he would follow in his footsteps as an augmenter. Reynolds admitted his limited ability in conjuring magic, though he marveled at his wife Alice's extraordinary talents as an emitter. He fondly reminisced about their adventurous past, hunting mana beasts in the Beastglades to obtain valuable beast cores. He described the dangers and rewards of these hunts and even hinted at the existence of rare SS-class mana beasts. Reynolds also discussed the significance of mana beasts being stronger than humans of the same class due to their physical prowess. As he spoke to his son Art, Reynolds shared stories of his adventurous life, hoping to inspire him to become an adventurer in the future. He eagerly anticipated Art's awakening, which would determine his magical aptitude. Reynolds explained that when mages awaken, they display distinct characteristics based on their magical affinity. Augmenters emit a repelling force, indicating dominant mana channels in their bodies, while conjurers create a vacuum of mana, signifying stronger mana veins. However, the story took an unexpected turn when a massive explosion rocked their house. Reynolds rushed to the source of the explosion, fearing for his son's safety. He found Art floating in the center of a crater, surrounded by a flickering translucent barrier. It turned out that Art's awakening as a mage had caused the explosion, clearing a significant portion of their house and yard. Overwhelmed by shock and awe, Reynolds couldn't help but marvel at the incredible power his son possessed at such a young age. Alice, equally stunned, joined him at the scene, and together they faced the extraordinary potential of their son, little Art, who had awakened as a mage at the tender age of 3. Their lives were forever changed by this unexpected event, and they could only wonder what the future held for their exceptional child. The family dinner took an unexpected turn as they discussed Arthur's future as a mage. Arthur's father, Reynolds, believed that Arthur's early awakening as a prodigy in mana manipulation meant he needed proper training beyond what his parents could provide. On the other hand, Arthur's mother was concerned about sending their son away from home at such a tender age. Their debate continued, with each parent reiterating their points. Arthur, meanwhile, amused himself by turning his food into warring factions on his plate. Eventually, his father turned to him, seeking his opinion. Arthur, feeling the weight of the decision, suggested that he meet potential mentors first to assess his need for tutoring. The proposal was met with silence, leaving Arthur anxious about his words. Thankfully, his parents agreed to have his mana core and channels formally tested before making a decision. The next day, they began preparing for an unexpected journey to the city of Axirus, where Arthur would receive proper magical education. To his surprise, the journey would take 3 weeks and involve crossing the Grand Mountains to reach a teleportation gate to the city. During their preparations, Arthur packed his wooden sword and a couple of books, and he reflected on the marvel of ancient floating cities. As they set off, they met with Reynolds' ex-party members, the Twin Horns, who were also headed to Axirus. Arthur introduced himself to the party members, each of whom had unique magical abilities and characteristics. Despite the initial shock of meeting them, Arthur found himself intrigued by their personalities. Their journey began with Skitter's domesticated mana beasts, pulling their carriages through the mountainous terrain. As night fell, they set up camp and Arthur engaged in a conversation with Helen Shard, one of the Twin Horns, who was curious about his magical abilities. The night took an unexpected turn when Adam, another member of the Twin Horns, asked if he could test Arthur's abilities. Arthur's father agreed, albeit with caution, and Adam prepared for a mock fight with the young prodigy.